Okay. Hi guys, it's Ona and Dr. Vicky. We are here tonight on Tuesday. I'm not to Friday. That's how I feel. Actually, it's so crazy.
This is how it
Friday,
starts, guys.
February 23rd, 2024, to talk about the full moon in Virgo that's occurring in the morning at 6:30 Central Standard Time. I need to apologize. Oh my God, I had glitchy issues today. Recorded some, lost the internet again, lost the timeline in the Zoom call, and finally got a moment. Thank you so much. I'm like, this is part of this full moon cycle thing. Mercury, who is ruling this full moon, who is the ruler of Virgo, just moved into Pisces. So it's like this feeling of just hot metal, like getting dunked into cold water, just sizzling, and everything is chaotic and all this stuff is going on. So I had a lot of issues with internet service, and of course, it's always like in my head, I'm thinking, oh yeah, we got hacked. I got hacked. I've been hacked.
Yeah,
All my
well, I mean,
I've been hacked,
a lot of espionage going on right about now. So, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, and we've had some incidents in the healthcare settings here where they've gotten into patient records and debilitated our critical care pediatric hospital, and patients still cannot get their electronic records. So every time there's a glitch, but it's been like that all day. But I did get an email about half an hour ago that said the service is up and there shouldn't be a problem. So we'll see if
yeah, we
it's
we
supposed to
did
go
a whole
through.
we did a whole half a show, and
If this is
and then
supposed to
everything
stuff
just
with this
dropped out.
moon stuff, right? I've got no view of the moon tonight. It's gonna snow. It was like 60 yesterday, and it'll be 60 again on Sunday. But I did get some great pictures of the last 4 nights, so I hopefully I can string some together and put them at the end of this video so you can see what the moon's been up to, and it's been really interesting. So let's look at the chart on this Virgo full moon, and we'll talk about some of the stuff that's coming up. The vibration of the day is the 34/7, or Eight of Wands in the Tarot, right?
Yeah. Yep. Okay, this is not it. Oh, wait, I know it. That's not what I want to do. Sorry. Uh-oh. Let's try something else.
Oh, this is
All right. Where is this?
And that corresponds to the Eight of Wands in the Tarot. So it is, and I had written down organized chaos on the page of what are some of the things coming up for this full moon. And the Eight of Wands is like organized chaos, truly.
So this is the I'll put it as a slideshow just so it's easier to see. And then we can come out of it. But this is the chart. This is for the United States, actually. It's
Yeah.
not the other chart that we were looking at the first time we tried this. Um, but it's so very interesting because the the ascendant of this chart for the United States is in Pisces. And this is the same degree, right, as the new moon that's going to be happening next. The new the the new moon is going to be at 21 of Pisces.
Okay.
It's just interesting like that it connected that way.
Yeah.
So there is this sense of connection. Plus, Neptune is in the first house, right? So that's kind of mystical, magical. delusional perhaps, or even a lot of water, a lot of water. And I know, isn't California getting doused again, or did that happen?
Yes, and there was a piece in the news about how there has been, a lot of mudslides causing it. There's been a buckle in some of the main highways, like as close to the coast. I don't know when it happened, but it was around the time that there was going to be some seismic stuff coming up.
You know,
And I
it's
think I pulled that out of the news thinking, oh yeah, that's right. I remember hearing that. There's seismic stuff coming up and they are like beyond repair from the standard cracks. There's been a lift and a buckle and a waffling going on.
well, one of the things with this chart, even Saturn and Jupiter are sextile each other, and Saturn is in Pisces, right? So
Yeah,
structure in water, right? And then we have Jupiter, which is expansion of Earth, right? And it's like the Earth and water, everything's getting saturated. It's interesting that those are the two feminine elements too, right? That those are the feminine elements, and we keep speaking of the rise of the feminine.
yeah.
Rise of the feminine. Yeah. Well, yeah, Virgo the Virgin. In
Mhm.
fact, I think back in 2011, the Royal Star, I think it's Regulus, but it might not be. There's one that's at the last degree um of Leo, and in 2011 it moved into Virgo after like 29,000 years or something like that. So um it was like and Leo is the king. And Virgo is the virgin, right? Is the woman,
Yeah,
is the mother. Virgo is the Mother Mary is Virgo, right? And so I just find it interesting, like Saturn and Pisces is kind of like Mother Mary, that Mother
yeah,
Mary energy, you know. But I see, but the point I'm making is that this chart does indicate that there are places where landslides, because of the earth being soaked with water,
yeah.
like a lot of earth things. I feel like there's a lot of earth things that are going to happen.
Uranus and Taurus, right? Uranus and Taurus,
Yeah.
then Jupiter also in Taurus. Taurus it's always solid and slower moving. I feel a Taurus moon physically
Yeah.
every time. I'm like, oh, it was a Taurus. I know before, it happens. So
Well, you're feeling this Pisces, and I mean this Virgo moon
yeah,
too, physically, right?
yes.
I went for like 2 medical tests this week, or 3. And they're just regular things that they do. It's not like there's anything going on, but it's just like the regular tests at the regular age, right? But it's like I'm so proud of myself. I got 3 tests done. The last time I went to the doctor, I got the blood test done on time, so she'd have the results. I started getting like a lot better about that, because I can be a little lackadaisical about medical stuff as
Yeah,
somebody who's in medicine. You're like, oh, that's nothing. Like there's like you diagnose yourself, which is not always smart. Uh,
right.
so it's kind of good that we have these like tests, but those maintenance things, anything with maintenance is a good thing to deal with right now. And you might become aware of what needs to be maintained, right? Something
Yeah.
brings a
I
leak.
think that's absolutely, that's an important theme in the Virgo. And I want to read where the area that Virgo covers, and I just switched all of my providers to a closer demograph from me. So I got on that same, okay, it's time for this, and this. I'm like, oh gosh, you know what? Do I have to? And they came back with the appointments already scheduled. They're like, if you're gonna be like that, we're gonna schedule the appointments for you. I said, all right, let's just do this. Let's get everything done. So
Hmm.
Virgo governs the upper intestinal organs, liver that is shared with Jupiter. That's hanging around there in Taurus, right?
Mhm.
Pancreas, spleen, upper intestine, ascending colon. Also, that is something that's shared with the Scorpio. Immune system, autonomic nervous system, and sympathetic nerve. So twitching, involuntary twitching things might come up. The nervous system has got, it's a little tweaked. Giblets, and as soon as he's done with his little treat, he starts being like this. Oh my God. And the fingers that are shared with Gemini and Mercury. We know Mercury just went into Pisces again, so it's a little out of place there, right?
Well, look at the Sabian symbols for the sun and the moon, right? The moon at 6 Virgo, a merry-go-round, finding poise amidst emotional turbulence. That sounds about right.
Yes.
Right? The sun at
Yes.
6 of Pisces, officers on dress parade, tolerate others until they become intolerable.
That I don't understand. Tolerate others until they become intolerable. What does that
Yeah.
mean?
I think like don't only like push something when there's no other choice but to push.
Okay.
Otherwise, just sort of tolerate people. Say, yeah, they're
Yeah.
having a moment. They're, because I think there's a wisdom in that. Not that I would suggest you do that all the time in your life,
Mm,
but I think at this time there's a wisdom in that because I think everything's a hair trigger right now. And
yeah.
we really need to step back and say, wait a minute, what's going on here? What's the real problem? What's the real issue? Like let's heal this, you know?
Yeah.
And of course, this is the axis of healing. So, I mean, if we're going to heal it, this would be a full moon to do it on.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is a very potent full moon for healing. So we could maybe like between now, Friday night, right, and tomorrow morning, just sort of like sit with what it is that um you want to let go, feelings that you have or feelings in your body or if you have a pain, like maybe you could just like say, I'd like to let that go
Yeah.
and see what happens because sometimes the pain that we have is not always a physical thing. It can be an emotional thing. It can be a memory from a past life
Right.
that sort of sits in our field and gets activated at these things. So if we can take the moment to like ask for help, I think in
Mhm.
this case. Yeah.
Yeah.
And and then the eight of wands.
I know.
Oh no, the eight of wands. I mean, look at that card,
It
right?
already feels like that.
Yes,
It has
yes,
been. Right.
yep.
And in the constellation, moon is still like in Leo there, so that still has that giblets, come here, buddy, has that like fiery energy to it.
Yeah, this Leo moon has been important, I think, that we've been experiencing.
Yes.
More important than because there was no fire. The only fire was the North Node. And the moon in Leo like opens our hearts. Like that's the energy of the moon and nurturing the heart, getting your heart nurtured, love, generosity. That's the moon in Leo.
Yeah.
I might have a sister-in-law who's got the moon in Leo. She is the most giving person I know. She's
Yeah.
adopted like 3 children. She's always like in the center of the family, always, being the one. It's just they just
I
have a
think
real loving
Virgo
heart.
moon is how to keep your sovereignty after this overwhelming ep- moment.
And focusing on your health. I think the focusing on your health is can't be understated
Yeah.
in this case.
What did you get for a crystal?
I got well, moss agate, which is like if you ask me any day of any it's always moss agate, but
Yeah.
really, really moss agate. I think anytime the moon is in earth signs, especially Taurus, like to me, moss agate is most powerful in Taurus. But it's a good stone. But I also got tiger's eye.
Yeah, yeah,
because it's a balancing stone, and I think we need to
yeah.
balance. I think we just need to step back, take a
It
breath. It's
alerts. It feels like it gives me good neuro energy, a tiger eye. It makes me more focused, because it requires you to focus to
to see it.
appreciate the bands in the
Yes,
tiger eye. So
yes,
it makes you go there, right?
yep.
I got selenite, really got slammed with it. Like collect all of it and make a temple. Kind of.
I had the most, let me tell you, I had the most profound healing, energetic healing of my life, crystal healing with selenite. And
Yeah,
it came at a time when, if I hadn't had that, I don't think I would have been able to make it through what I made it through and got to the other side of it. It was
yeah.
that important. Yeah.
It's
It's
really
powerful.
inexpensive. It is. It really is. And it also it's so soft, it can after a while, if it's immersed in water, will break down, right? So it acts like a sponge
Yeah.
and it acts like a fidget toy. I mean, you can really feel how spongy it is, and it is absorptive, and it feels very much like the Virgo energy to me right now.
Yeah.
That's where I'm getting selenite from. So almost never can you have jewelry made out of it because it's so fragile.
Yeah, I have a beautiful selenite necklace that my friend, she's an artist. And she's actually the person who did the healing on me. She had these slabs of selenite that you would sit on
Yeah,
and then put under your feet. And then she had selenite wands, and then she'd take this um uh pyramid with a selenite in it and
yes.
spin it over your head and say stuff and do stuff. And
Wow.
and it changed my whole, I was like, it did this to me. Like I went like it sort of did this. This is the direction you have to go. I was like going in the wrong direction. And
What a
it
good time for
literally,
energy work too. Honestly, what a great point. It's a good time to get some energy work too, or do something different. And You know, I
yeah,
I'm not somebody who gets a massage ever. I usually have more pain when I leave, but I had done a string of working nights and I was just out of tune, just out of tune. I'm like, I just don't feel right. Like I need a massage. So I had one, and I typically don't. And I felt much better, so much
yeah,
better.
yeah. Well, a lot of this energy is settling in our bones and settling in our muscles. And
Yeah,
the last thing the last thing to rise is the physical, right? Is the bones and the, so they need time to I think part of it is we wear a lot of armor on us, energetic armor, and I think it's a time when we need to sort of have a space to take it off for a little bit,
yeah,
and you can put it back on because you want to protect yourself, but there's just I don't know, it just
yeah, yeah.
any form of healing really with this full moon,
Find
anytime.
some peace.
Don't wait for the
Yeah,
full moon. Do it today if you know what I'm saying, but this is,
yeah.
and it'll just point out where exactly you need to put the energy and the care.
Yeah,
Right? You'll have it,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. You just got to ask. It'll point right to it. And then if you don't, if you ignore things, this is the time when things come up that you've been ignoring.
Yeah, so there you go.
Just like the earth is ready to spring up stuff that we've ignored all winter. We've stepped over or stepped on, and the bulbs are starting to come up and spring up. And you're like, all those little areas that we've been ignoring will spring up if you don't pay attention to them. So I'm glad I got all my doctors changed over. I'm happy with the ones I've already visited, and we'll see. I have to get all that stuff done, mammogram and all that crap that I just like, oh,
The woman who did my mammogram was very nice, and she
good.
had very warm hands, which is very important. And she said, "You're in good hands." I said, "Are your hands warm? Because
Yeah,
that would mean I'm in good hands." And she said, and she touched me. They were like little fire things. She had healing energy in her hands,
Yeah,
you know, from having to like lift breasts. I mean, it's such a delicate thing in a way and a
yeah,
personal thing. You have to have a lot of sensitivity to touch another woman like that. You know what I
right.
mean? Yeah, it was a little nurturing. It's
Yeah.
interesting that I did it like around the full moon, right? That I had my mammogram.
There was some study that came out that said that the full moon does not affect people's mental health status. I don't believe that that's true.
Oh God, gosh, no.
And I'm like, this is a stupid, gratuitous piece of garbage that is on the news because it definitely does. It
Of
definitely,
course it does. The moon is our feelings. Like,
yeah.
how do you really feel about something? You know?
I want to pull a card I mentioned on the community page. If you guys have gotten a chance to see that, that today is the anniversary of Cannoli's passing. And I have her picture up there from after she passed, and then I did a little rendition of what she might be able to offer today. So she feels very much like this Virgo full moon. And I want to pull a card from one of her favorite Oracle decks uh to sort of, you know, see if she can give any advice out there. Still my favorite.
Oh,
You know what? And now you get another senior in a second.
yeah. I know she was one of my favorite pastries.
The heart chakra.
Oh.
Isn't that awesome? I love myself and others unconditionally and nurture loving relationships. And the other one that was two of them came out together was balance.
Oh. Kind of like Tiger Eye, right?
Yeah, yeah. I understand and embrace the opposing forces that bring about balance. It's probably about this bargain done right here, right now.
So I picked
Oh,
a mystic sister. Do you need to do something? No, you're good, right?
no, I just gotta unpretzel my legs.
Oh, okay. Mystic Sisters Oracle, and I picked Lilith. Look at this card. Isn't it gorgeous? I love this
Very
card,
cool.
right? Look at that.
Yes, I'm completely obsessed with these Zen channeling things that I've been doing, and anything that has this really neat pattern to it, but it's an abstract pattern, is really appealing to me.
I think you're channeling stuff right now.
I am.
I think that the art that you're making right now could sit like could be like almost like a portal. So if somebody wanted to have it, they could meditate on it and it would just sort of take them, you know, into like, I don't know, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I have marked on some of them because I can get cards that I can do individually. They'd all be the same size, and then I would do each one. Come here, Benny cat. Benny cat, come here. Hold on 1 second. Come here, buddy. So sorry. He's just gonna be a big baby again. Unbelievable, this dog. Um, and pick out some things that can offer insight. So maybe like an oracle or something. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's really been a way for me to sort of
Yeah.
channel, right?
Yes. Yes.
Nervous energy or overwhelming energy. you know, everything that's going on. I think this could be also that we're coming into a season where things are going to be changing a lot, and how to own your sovereignty and keep your sanity, as Mercury's taking a dip in the frickin' Pisces pool right now.
So
Everything's an illusion.
let me in that on that note, let me read what it says in the book. It says, self-actualization and power. The goddess Lilith represents determined feminine self-empowerment. According to myth, Lilith was the, whoops, sorry. I hate when that happens. It's on the next page. The first female created in the Garden of Eden. When the Creator discovered her to be dominant over her male counterpart, he was displeased and cast her out of Eden. Lilith returned in the form of a serpent who tempted Eve to eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge. Drawing this card is symbolic of the need to exercise personal power. There is no sin in embracing your own nature. This is not to say there will not be pushback or consequences, but you are still called to be what you will be.
Yeah,
So this is about being you, which is
yeah,
what the North Node in um Aries is all about,
yeah.
right? Be you.
And Pluto and Aquarius, right?
Yes.
It's
Be
all,
we. Be
yeah.
we.
It's, I mean, it's about your unique ability to interpret and survive this weird little planet that we're using right now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We're all learning something.
We're, oh my gosh, every single day. It's really awesome. I love it. I love it.
I know, me
I
too.
love learning something different every day.
I don't feel like I've had a good day unless I've learned something. There's just like a weird like
Yeah.
I get like this like thing happen in my chest when I get like one of those ahas. I'm
I
like,
think it's our generation. I think this is a way to keep our brains active, because we've let other things take over what our brains used to do.
yeah.
We like
Yeah,
to,
I guess maybe the computers are thinking more for us on the reason logical way. It gives us a little more space to be intuitive in a way, or creative or right? You know what I mean?
yeah. And that is the message of this full moon. It's a gateway to be more creative, to open yourself to more channeled Mercury's and Pisces, where things are subjectively real, even though they are anyway, but and
Yeah, we're really dipping into that Pisces energy. And then eventually Mercury's going to go into Aries and then it goes retrograde on like April Fool's Day in Leo and then is retrograde most of April.
while it's Aries.
Hmm.
In Aries, it's going to have a retrograde cycle.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, we who is right. Yeah, we're in for it. We're in for it. What exactly that
wow.
means? I don't know, but we're ready for it, aren't we?
Yeah,
We're ready to see it different. So it's going to be different.
yeah, it is. Every day is different and every day is awesome. Thank you so much. I want to, and I'll have to get a short together, but I'm gonna get up there and see what kind of full moon energy is occurring at that moment up on the roof. It is supposed to snow tonight. I don't have any view of the moon whatsoever. So we'll see what I get. Probably just a reflection of me in my pajamas.
Wear your pretty pajamas.
Oh my gosh. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you again. for sticking in there and getting through this super glitchy day. I hope not everyone is having a glitchy day because it could be annoying. Definitely realize where you use the internet as like part of your
Yeah,
activities of daily living include being able to have access to all this stuff. So it's been interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
It's a little scary, but interesting.
Yep. Yep.
All right, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a wonderful full moon.
Yes. It'll be fun.